Hey guys, it's In Our Tone. I'm Miss Lewis.
And I'm Miss Graham.
And today we have two guests. And what's your name?
Jermaine Fletcher. Clinton Jean.
And today's podcast episode is all about a young colored man's perspective on love. So we want to understand and dive deeper into. Okay. Okay. So today's podcast episode is all about a young colored man's perspective on love. So we have our two guests here because obviously we want to dive deeper and get beyond the surface about why men date the way that they do, why they make the decisions that they do, the perspectives that they have, and also how we as women of color can better support them and support each other as a community in general.
Right. So it's all about closing the gap. So without being said, we're going to get into it. And we're starting off pretty strong.
Yeah.
So.
But before we start off, I think it's important to kind of give us background on who you guys are.
You're right.
Your names, where you go to school.
Major.
Yeah. Things that you're interested in.
So we'll start off with Jermaine.
Yeah. My name is Jermaine, and I attend Framingham State. I'm a sophomore. I graduate in 2028. Some hobbies that I have, I play football. I like to lift. I like to watch movies. I like spending quality time with my friends, regardless of what it's doing. I just love I love the little things about life, and I'm really excited to be here today. I feel like this is a great opportunity to really dive into things that a lot of people are afraid to talk about. So I think this is perfect.
All right. My name is Clinton Jean. I go to Mass Bay. I'm a sophomore. I play basketball. I'm from West Africa originally, so this is my first time ever being on a podcast. Things I like to do for fun. I like to go on walks in my neighborhood, listen to music, watch sunsets. I like to spend time with my family, my friends. I like playing video games too, on the side. But yeah, I'm very excited to be on this podcast. Just the level of commitment that they have for this podcast is giving me excitement to kind of talk about things that I've probably never spoken to before, about before, and just to get hit with a bunch of barrage of questions is just intriguing. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's so good.
Thank you guys so much. So firstly, how do you guys identify yourselves? I identify myself as mixed race Black woman.
And I identify myself as a Black woman.
So how would you guys define it?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. The way I'll identify myself is probably being a African man, because I'm pure West African. I'm not from the States, but I have family that are from here, so I take a culture of both, just to see different perspectives of how people live in the States versus back home. Yeah, I'll just see myself as a Black African man, so yeah, pretty much it.
Wait, I gotta ask though. Will this bring controversy if I do say that I identify myself as
what do you mean
Hispanic man?
No.
I don't. No, I'm just asking because I know
No, that we want.
No, yeah, we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if this is gonna
No.
throw everything out. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
That's okay. We're all nervous.
I like to identify.
And you don't have to speak to the camera. We can speak.
Yeah, you don't have to look because that's
That's gonna make me
nervous.
Right. This is a conversation.
Okay. Well, I like to identify myself as a Puerto Rican man. Some part of my family is Dominican and Cuban, but I really stand by my Puerto Rican traits, and just coming from that little island, it's a different pride that it makes you come with, wherever you're at. just having that Boricua pride in you. It's like, you know, it's an extra push into like everything you do in life. So
I love that.
Yeah,
I
me
love that.
too.
I love that a lot. That was great. That was great, Janine.
Facts.
So with that being said,
Yeah.
Miss Graham is gonna open it up with the first question.
Okay, guys. So we want to know before we get into like the nitty gritty of everything, what do you got? What are your guys' preconceived ideas on love, dating, and race? For example, how do you feel about interracial dating? How do you feel about like what's your typical type? Just how do you feel about dating in general?
Um, how I feel about dating? Well, I feel like dating is more of like it's more of like the training wheels to like love. So, like for example, if you put a kid on the bike, you have them on training wheels first. So I feel like that's what love is at a young age. You kind of like dip your feet in to see if you really like the groove, and it's more of like a feeling that not a lot of people really get if you find the right person. You know what I mean? But then it's like a thing where people won't really know what the meaning of love is, but just be in a cliche part of it where they just date just to date. You know what I mean? A lot of people like they are actually in love, but the partner won't really feel that way because they've been in so much different experiences, so they won't really take that person's word for it until they see it in action. You know, and that's just like something that I take pride in. Like if I love a partner of mine, is like, you know, I would really love you, I'll ride for you, you know what I mean? Whether it's my like a family, a friend, you know, whoever it is, like if I say I love you, then like I'm gonna be your right partner. Like I'm gonna be your backbone to like everything really. And it's just like more into like different types of races and dating. Like I'm very open. I don't have a specific type because I want to learn different cultures from different types of people that I would probably date. You know what I mean? Like, I'm West African, so I've grown up with like West African women. I lived in America for a little bit, so it's like the different types of things you see. But
Right.
at the end of the day, if love is love, it doesn't matter who you love. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow, that was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful. Okay, it's my turn. All right. Okay, bro. Like, the question was like, the first question was the perspective of.
Like what's your like preconceived like ideas on love? Like how do you view love? How do you feel dating? How do you feel about interracial dating? Things like that.
Well, to me, the way I had to grow up viewing love and seeing what love was like, it wasn't like a positive like thing. Like I grew up with like my biological father beating on my mom and really just abusing her, and I grew up with watching like my mom, you know, just have to go through that. And like to me, like I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't a true believer in love because I felt like the only love that I knew was the love that my mom gave me and my brothers, because it was like I didn't grow up with a perfect like relationship between my parents, and like just like the surroundings I like, you know, was around. Like I don't think I ever was around like, you know, one like true like I can say like love story, except for later on when I moved over here and I met my aunt and my uncle. But like growing up, like I didn't really know what true love was. Only thing that I knew that was close to love was the way my mom would like push for us and try to make us, you know, be what we are now. But I think that's changed in the past few years because obviously, you know, we meet people, we talk to people, and we're able to. I was very thankful to like experience a kind of love, and what I learned from that was just like love comes in every shape, like any kind of shape, and love comes on its own timing, and I think there's a saying out there that says that like you don't find love, love finds you on its own timing. And I think that's a lesson I learned. And I think for the people out there that like still believe that there's true love out there, I think it's true. Because I don't think there's anything more beautiful than the emotion and feeling of being in love.
You're right.
And then the next question was the inter.
Oh, that was one of the questions.
Yeah.
But well, did you want that? What's your...
You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
I will. I just sorry.
So
I just
it was like, how do you feel about interracial dating? What's your typical
Okay. I got it.
typical type? They can't hear me, right? So the other part of the question was, how do you feel about interracial dating and what's your typical type?
Yeah.
This is funny because I know Jermaine. So.
Yeah. But I want to actually. This is something that I would love to talk about because I feel like
Let's get it.
being Puerto Rico, like come from Puerto Rico and then moving here at such a young age. Like I moved into a town that was very suburban based, like it was the suburbs basically, and the population, the town was in Franklin, Massachusetts, and if you guys know anything about Franklin, it's 90% white, and so I moved there when I was around 8 years old. So first I just want to say is I don't care about like I don't believe in like I think love, like Clinton said earlier, like love is love. Right. You can love whoever. I don't judge. I'm not looking when I want to find love and I want to fall in love. I'm not looking at someone's skin color, I think it sucks and it's really, really like disappointing that we're still in the generation that many people do think like that. And many people's reason on why they can't be with a colored person would be because of their skin color. I think it's disappointing just seeing our history, seeing what we've been through, seeing like everything people had to like deal with that we don't learn. And it's like, it sucks because we speak and like we preach on like growth and like being better, but it's like, in every little way, are we better? Like maybe in like the big things, but like there's so many little things that still affect a lot of people. Seriously. But to me, like for me, it was more like I grew up around really one race, and most, like I'll admit, like most of the people that I've spoken to or have been with have been white, but it's like I hated that like growing up, like or like in high school, like people would like like in a way attack me or come at me in a way because like they've only seen me talk or been with the white woman, but it's like it's hard and it's not like I don't want like I explained it earlier, like it's just hard when like you've grown up around the same exact group of people, and it's like when those are and like I'm like my parents are strict, so I couldn't just go out and stuff. I couldn't just go hang out with friends. I couldn't go into other towns. Like my mom was strict. Like all I knew was my house, my room, and those four walls, and then the middle school and the high school. So like any interactions I would have like with the girl like throughout like high school until like my junior year, and he can vouch for me because he knows how strict my mom was. So I couldn't be like whatever, but like that's all I knew. Like only people I saw all the time, and it's like it's really hard when like 90% of your school is like one skin color, and it was just like I like how do I explain this? Like I just didn't know. I couldn't like be able to
Yeah, like you didn't have the opportunity to go outside, even if you wanted to. It wasn't there.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
You were and
just the one, and it made it even harder just because like just how my mom was, and how that like just high school but
the circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. 100% understandable.
Yeah,
and a lot of people would assume that nobody knows this because nobody asked you this, so they automatically assume that you just like what you like and that's it, but nobody takes the time out to actually ask you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all these assumptions, but that's why we're so divided in the Black community, Hispanic community, because we see you and we're like, well, you only date these type of girls, so you can't sit with us, or like you're unhappy with us. You know what I mean? But that's not the case. But nobody asked you that question yet, so we don't know. But that's the point of this podcast.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so like cool to see the other side of the coin, because I feel like for me growing up, like I only seen like my dad being with white women or being with women who didn't look like me, or like my aunts and my grandparents and my family. So it was really confusing for me. I always would be like, you know, like, do you not like even like me or like your family? Like, are you going against your own self, like trying to be like, you know, with a different type of person? But I feel like it's nice to kind of hear your side, where it's like, this is all I know, and like this is just what it is, you know. Even if I wanted to, like, I couldn't. And I also want to say thank you so much for being vulnerable with us and like really opening up, because that's a really beautiful thing, and like I understand that's hard, so thank you.
I'm gonna get vulnerable in the next couple of questions.
And I want to say something too that you said about like dating being the training wheels, because I feel like a lot of the time people view dating as like such a like big huge thing. Like it's like dating is the relationship, but people don't recognize that like dating is the first step. Like I can date around and I can figure out people and I can learn about people, but that doesn't mean that when I'm dating somebody I have to be all into that one thing, or like that's the love of my life, you know. Like I think sometimes we might take things a little too seriously and like feel like we have to find the love of our lives and do all these things right away, you know. Yeah, and it's like we don't have to do that, you know. Like there's steps to it all, and like love is not just like
love's not a label. Love's not just the label of dating.
Yeah, it's not like something so simple. Exactly. It's not like a simple thing where like I start talking to someone or dating someone and now I'm in love with them. Like love is deeper than that, and like choosing to be with somebody is way deeper than that. And so
100%.
One thing I wanted to add to that is like one of the things I really like about I really love about love is that it comes with so much pain, like so much pain. Just because like
it's true.
If you were once in love, or if you love someone, whether if it's a family member or whoever it may be, like
Not just relationship.
Yeah, not just relationship. So if you like let go, or you know, you lost someone and you love them, and you know that pain is right there. In friendship, like it just brings back, like it just brings so much memories, because like that's how you know you really do love that person that you're talking about. It's just, you know, it's like, I don't know, like that's why I don't, you know, I mean, as a person, I don't really go around and just say love and, you know, stuff like that. Serious. Because it has a true meaning to me, whether if it's not like, you know, you don't truly hold that valuable, like, you know what I mean? You just want to like throw it around, but I'm not the type of person to just really throw it out there. You know, like if I say it, then I mean it, and I would show you, like, you know, no matter how like the scenario may be or whatever.
That's 100%, because I don't know when was, I think it took him like almost a year of us hanging out and being friends for him to say he loves me. So like I agree.
No, and that's so like, I feel like I like that you mentioned the pain aspect, because people are so scared of pain, and that's something that we want to dive deeper into in this episode, because I think we are a little bit scared of being in that uncomfortable phase where we are like having to relearn ourselves and having, you know. But I think pain is such a vital experience, because then you do learn so much about yourself. Like any painful experience I've been through, like I feel like it only taught me more about who I am as a person. And so I feel like while it's uncomfortable and while it's scary and it's something nobody wants to go through, it's also such a beautiful thing, and it's a process. And I feel like what we hope to get out of this episode is like, even though you are like, sometimes people don't want to get uncomfortable to get comfortable, and like
what you have to do.
yeah
100%.
So you're gonna ask the next question?
Wait, didn't I ask it?
Oh,
The first one? Yeah, you asked.
Oh, so I asked the second one. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I don't know what second question I want. These are so good. I think I have to take it here based off what you guys said, based off what you said. And I just feel like it's very important. It's very important. How are you shown or not shown love growing up? And it's very deep because this also stems from like what I talked about, like generational trauma, and also like because of how life was for me growing up and how I seen my mom and my dad, I didn't prefer to date black men because it's what I've seen. It's like I don't want to be with you because I put a label, I put them all in one box. Like you guys are all like this, so I don't want to deal with not one of y'all. And that's just what it was. But until I went through my own healing and realized the hate's coming within the room, like now I have a resentment towards black men, and that's the issue in the black community, that we resent each other in ways that we didn't think stem down from at home. Because that was what I seen at home. The love was not good, so I didn't prefer to date. You know what I mean?
And I want to add to that question, like how were you shown or not shown love, but also what was your relationship like with your mom? Because we were talking about how like for us, our relationship with our dads impacted like how we, you know, view love and dating
for our man.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so because your dad's present and he takes care of you and his lady, you know what to expect in a man because you see your dad do it 100 times. So it's like now you're like, if you're not like this, you know what I mean? They do say like a girl's first love is their father, because your father will let you know who, like, this is the man for you. You know what I mean? If you don't have that relationship with your dad, then you're gonna find love in places where your dad didn't give you. And
or you might look for people who are just
opposite.
Just like your dad, but like
in
if
different
they
ways.
weren't present, then you find like an unpresent type of love. If that makes sense.
Exactly. So who wants to start first?
You want to go first?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Wait. Before you say that, like, piggyback of what you said, a daughter's true first love is her father. It's crazy that you say that. Like, I have a video on my phone of Denzel Washington, and he's on TV interview or whatever, like with I forget the guy's name, but he says a quote. He goes, I still have the video on my phone, and he said, a son's true first love, it's their mother. Mm-hmm. And then a mother's last true love is their son. And it's crazy that you say that.
So like, that's really true.
No, it really is true. Like,
if you really think about it, it is so true because they can't even hear me. No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, when a guy truly likes a girl, he starts saying like, you remind me of my mom. Like, you know what I mean? It's that motherly nurturing. Like, you remind me of my mom. Like not just the cooking cleaning aspect, just like my mom's this way. So I like a woman that is kind of like my mom because my mom loves me and I love my mom. So it's like, just like how your mom loves you by this woman, because this woman loves like your mom.
It's like, it's true. It's literally like domino effect. Yeah, it's like your mom. I feel like as men, you're like more dominant, and you know your mom is like that soft, loving thing, you know, person in your life that teaches you how to be that soft side. Whereas like women, we're like naturally more like nurturing and loving. So like our dads
are the
being
ones
there teach us like how to find that like protector, that dominant person, you know. But yeah, you guys answer the question.
Yeah. I think that's a great question, but I think it's a great question that like always sometimes has to come with like a tough response. And like in my situation, like I think something that was always missing was like my father's love, because like I didn't have a dad there to make me fall in love with the sport. I didn't have like a dad around to like support me in things that a mom can't support me in, or talk to me and have conversations that, it's what a dad's supposed to do. And it was hard, I think, never seeing my father at any of my birthdays, or never like really ever seeing him. And like I think it's something that growing up I really like shoved deep inside, but it's like, you hear stories and you see other people, and it's like you start questioning yourself and you start wondering, like, you know, why couldn't my father like love me the way he loved other things? Like, why couldn't he have stayed? Why couldn't he have watched me grow up? And it sucks because just recently, he requested me on Instagram, and I haven't seen my father since I was 3 years old. I haven't heard from him since maybe 2015, 2014. And it's like, just seeing that, like, just like it triggered me, and it made me feel a kind of way. And it sucked because it's like, there's been, where has that kind of effort been in the past 19 years?
Right.
Where has that want to be in my life been? And it's awful, but something that it shows me is the love that my mom gave me. And my mom had me and my older brother at 15 and 17. So
shout out to your mom.
As a teenager, now of course, as a teenager in a very like rough spot, growing up in Puerto Rico, like having two kids, and anyone I meet that's older than me tells me the exact same thing. Like, your mom would have done anything for y'all while we were kids, and I see that every single day with the sacrifices she makes. And we're not a family that has a lot, but my mom's always made sure that her kids had enough. And I think it's it's beautiful, because that's where my perspective of love comes from. It's my mom's love, the way my mom took care of us when she had no one, the way my mom made an effort and moved us over here in America to America, and like without really knowing anyone, she moved us over here and just gave us a better life, really, because the way things are where we're from, it's like everyone falls under the same path. And I mean, um a year older than what my uncle was when he got murdered, and it's like we were gonna live in that kind of environment, and I wouldn't be able to fall in love with football. I wouldn't be able to experience the things that I experienced. I wouldn't be able to sit right here with you guys and doing, what we're doing. And it's like, I owe my mom so much. And like, sometimes we have a rocky relationship, like, I won't lie. So there's some things that could have been a little different, but I could never judge my mom for raising us the way she did. And at the end of the day, like, however way I feel about a situation, like, I still like, that's my mom, and I'd do anything for her. And I just think that there's so many people out there, and I want to talk more like men. Like, I think there's a lot of guys out there that have been through that position, have been through that situation, and they don't really talk about it as much as they should. And they don't talk about how much it impacts. And like, I can put my ego aside. Like, I look, I got teary like talking about it. I can put my ego aside and know that, like, in a way, that's always affected me in every single thing I do. Like, um, I wish I knew what love was earlier. I wish I knew how to like do certain things. I wish I didn't have to learn things on my own. I wish I didn't have to make mistakes to like really get the lessons out of them. I wish I had a father figure who, and that's not to say, because I know I have a stepfather, and he's done. I can't like, he picked up two kids, didn't have to take care of them, and he did everything
Right.
he had to do. It's a lot of things we might not like always see the eye to eye on, but like, I can appreciate that. That's again, I guess, another sign I can use of love. He has no idea who we are. He falls in love with my mom, and he takes two kids, and gives them everything. I think I can't like not show my grace towards him and what he's done. For my mom and for my little brother. Like, he's done a lot for us, and I'm really grateful. But I think, again, like, it's a topic that so many guys don't really talk about, and I think it impacts a lot of us. I think it impacts a way a guy views love, or a way a guy views like really life. And I think it's just something that I wish, us as a generation, I hope we can become more like talkative and impactful on things like that. But yeah.
Well, Jermaine, this is so beautiful, and I'm just so appreciative that you've been so vulnerable. But I also want you to understand yourself that your dad not being present is not a reflection of you. I feel like growing up, like that's what we think it is. Like my dad being present is because of me. I'm the problem. Or maybe I'm not. No, your dad's a grown man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's 100% capable of being present. You know what I mean? So let's not give him any excuses, and let's not put the blame on ourselves. And really thank yourself and be grateful that you're here still doing the best that you can regardless of trauma, you know what I mean? So I'm thankful that you've got vulnerable, and it's like a bittersweet moment, and I didn't know this about you, so like it's just different, you know what I mean? Because I can relate in several ways about that as well, and I feel like it's not talked about enough because it's embarrassing, but this is a open discussion, and never feel like this is an embarrassing conversation, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
All right. My fault. Can you repeat the question one more time so I can
Yes, of course. How are you shown or not shown love growing up, and how's the relationship with your mother and father?
Okay. My way of love when I grew up was so I'm from West Africa. I'm from Senegal, Dakar, which is right next to Cape Verde on the by the water. I was born over there. Um, I moved here when I was 9 or 10. Well, I moved to different states when I moved here, but over there I grew up over there. So my first sport was soccer because it's the mainland, the motherland sport. So I played soccer and stuff, and then my dad's from Trinidad, but he grew up in Brooklyn, New York. So New York is the house of basketball. So he met my mom on a work job. Da 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 da. They had me my dad he introduced me to basketball, so I wasn't really a basketball guy. And so growing up in that household, so I have two older brothers and a little sister, and we have a big family, like you know, cousins, aunties, uncles, everybody's always in the house. So in Senegal, um, so you get beatings, you actually because there's no in the states there's you can't hit your kid. It's abuse. You know what I mean? Over there, there's no such thing as abuse. If someone gets caught stealing outside, you see the whole town run after you with sticks and stuff. So and you get a beating until you're whatever. And if the police doesn't come get you, then you're really not safe. So in the house, I get beat and stuff like that. I have scars on myself. I don't really when people ask me this, I don't really um so when people ask me this, I always say it's because of sports. Yeah. I never say what it is. So I have scars on my body right here from just getting beat at home, into discipline. So I'm I didn't grow up with a family that just yells and not doesn't
Yeah.
put pressure. So that was my family's way of showing love, which kind of I'm very grateful for. I'm not saying that's not obviously that's not good to hit your child.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, the tough love, it just shows me and it guides me to the man that I am today. Everything that I do with respect. Everything, whatever it is. I'm not the type of guy to argue with you. You argue, I would just let you go and just, the emotions are high. You're good. It's all right because you're gonna come back and apologize for feeling guilty. I'm not gonna make you feel guilty, but you're gonna talk to me, and reflect on the way you acted in that moment.
Right.
And so, I don't. Everything that I do with respect. I don't talk back to family. I don't talk back to my man, my family. I just generally I'm just a very respectful person, and I just started off with being as a kid. My mom, she, my mom was she's my hero. She's she's that one person I could always go to. Whatever it is. like we, believe it or not, like me and my mom just started like actually like getting closer and closer, like very close. And as a kid, like I don't open up. I'm very hard for me. It's very hard for me to open up, no matter what it is. Even to my parents, my brothers, who are not like, no matter who it is, I'm a very hard. I gotta get nudged to open up. And so, like growing up, I just never had I never really went to my parents and really talked to them about like very serious situations. I always found a found a plan, which is like sweeping it under the rug type of plan. I always talk to myself, like I don't go out to just talk to people about how I feel, because I don't want to put that pressure on you to help me figure out a solution.
That's also a pro and a con. You know what I mean? Because you're trapping yourself. Like, it's okay to not be okay. And I think in a minority like culture, people already assume that we could take anything. Like, you have to be strong no matter what. Like, you cannot break down. Like, you have to keep it up and continue with your day. But then we forget to realize, damn, like I really do need help. You know what I mean? But if you keep getting up every day and not like addressing it, it's just like it just gets deeper and deeper, in every aspect of your life, in little ways that you don't think, you know what I mean, that it will ever affect you. So I think that's very important too that you said that. But also, I also think in African culture too, this is an assumption. I don't know if it's true, but like a lot of my African guy friends, they're they're strong. They don't think anything that happened to them is bad. Like I don't know what it is. Like this, I would explain to them like this is wrong, and they'll be like, no, it's not. Like, but I'm like, no, it is. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but it's like also their moms are not very much like wanting to hear that. You know what I mean? It's not really like mental health is not really in that type of household. It's not really like, because I really like talk to my friends that are, I'd be like, wait, what? And like, oh no, I'm good though. And I'm like, no, this is not good to me. No.
See, like, all right, so piggyback off that. So obviously, like growing up, like it's not good to keep stuff to yourself, because that's how start to get crazy and stuff like that. So growing up, I never opened up, never opened up. I just never did that. So like there's this one story. It was like I was back at school. No, I was back at school, and I had torn my ACL, and I torn it 2 years ago, like playing basketball both times. And the first time, like obviously I was around my mom, my family, friends could come visit me at home and stuff. And so the second time I'm in Florida, so like I have really nowhere to go, nobody to talk to. Like I'm with a bunch of like international kids that I'm with a bunch of people that I don't really know. Like so opening up was like very hard. And so like this is like me very like this is me like getting very deep into like me. Like so I like had thought about, like obviously like multiple times. The first time, just cause like, my senior year, I'm thinking like, oh, like, what am I gonna do? Like, and then a little bit before I torn the first time, I had lost my grandfather. So like a month and a half before that, then like this was 2 years ago, and then like, I had broken up with like my ex broke up with me, da da da. So obviously I'm not in a good state of mind. And then obviously losing my grandfather, he was like my wingman. Like I would go to my granddad about anything. Like, and every time I see him, he's still like, he used to say like, "Oh, you haven't reached 7 feet yet. Like you're still growing." Like you know what I mean? Just making a little joke. So obviously losing him, like I was just in a bad mental state. Like, and that what made it worse was I never went to my parents about this, because having an African mom, African family, you go to them about stuff like this is like you talk to them about, oh, I want to see a therapist, because I'm growing up in the States, so I'm now learning about what therapy is and this and that. So I'm thinking like, and me, I always think of a conversation with the person I'm gonna have before I have it with them, just to see their reaction on the answers that I'm going to give them. So I'll play different scenarios in my head, and if I say like this, I'm gonna get this answer. If I say like that, I'm gonna get that answer. And that's how I am with my mom. And my mom is so unpredictable, so I have to actually like prepare if I'm gonna talk to her about stuff like this. So, you know, I never talked to her about it. And like, I went through like a period of time where I called damn near like everybody in my family. And I had a 15-second conversation with all of them. Hi, how are you? But mind you, I speak 4 languages. So I'm like speaking in French and I'm telling them like, you know, oh, I love you. Thank you for being with me. Like, thank you for doing everything that you've done for me. Like, you know, just giving them like a little brief thank you and I love you. So I did that with like over 30 family members. And I'm thinking like, you know, like this is really like it. Like I'm in the garage, like in my car, like not even in my car, in my dad's car, and I'm in the back seat and I'm calling everybody. And then like the last 3 people I called were my siblings. Well, I called last 2 people I called my siblings, my 2 older brothers. So I called my first, you know, everything's good. Then I called my second one, and he's like, he knows something's wrong, because off like the crack of my voice, like he just knew like obviously something's not good. So he's talking to me and stuff like that, whatever. Then he's like telling me that he loves me, and like that shit just like it just hit me, because now I have a little sister. Mind you, she was like probably like 4 or 5 or something like little, like, you know. So I'm thinking like I can't do that to her, bro. Like, you know. So I kind of talked to my brother about just a little gist of stuff that, because I can't open up. So I gave him like gist of like like the surface level of stuff, like. So I just never did it. Tore it again. Now I'm back in Florida, like, and nobody can stop me from doing what any like nobody can stop me. Like I'm in my room 24/7. I can't practice like nothing, you know. And it just like it just hit me so hard because and I'm very spiritual. I'm Muslim. I'm very spiritual, and like I might like get a little teary for this part, but like the moment the moment that I was about to do it in my room was just like very like I was like shaking, like it was like so surreal, like, you know. And um one of my friends came in like 5-10 minutes prior to me, like just chilling in my chair, like really having like it was like, you know, like the combs with the part with the metal part that you used to part your hair with, like
Yep.
yeah.
I know what you're talking
Nah,
about.
like, you know, so I'm just processing everything, like I'm like I'm done, like I can't do this anymore, like just thinking to myself like I can't. So like I'm talking to God, like show me a sign that this is not where the chapter ends, like.
Right.
And I didn't tell my friend any of this. Like my teammate walks into the room like 30 seconds, like not even 30 seconds, 15 seconds after I said that. And then he sees me like crying and he goes, "What's up? Like what happened?" Like da da da. So I'm just talking to him. And then it was just like so surreal because I never opened up to anybody about that. And that was my first ever step into like opening up about how I'm really doing. And I found a great group of people that just I was over there that just helped me through that moment. And, you know, like talking to my mom about it now, like she's now opening up to it, like, you know, seeing a way. And like my dad is just like it's another story of my dad because he's American, so it's like, you know, he's not like he knows what it is.
Right.
You know,
I get it.
he knows what it is. But we've had like a tough relationship and everything is just like um more more like he favorites his children, like from what I've seen. And I can read people very well. And I had a conversation with him 2 weeks ago about like I literally let it out crying because of how bad he's treated me out of all his and I'm named after his dad, which is the worst part. I called him out for that. I told him like you can't really treat me like this. Me especially after now I'm named after your father. Like you can't do this. You know, I could just tell you don't really love me. And it's just like saying that to my dad.
It hurts.
Like it hurts, but that's just what it is. And that's again, I don't open up. So I like lashed out because
Breaking point.
it was like, yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. Like And I
you
just
could
told
only
him,
take so much.
exactly. And my mom, she always nudges me to like just talk to him, like tell him how you feel, tell him how you feel, tell him how you feel. And I always say, okay. And I would just brush it.
Right.
Then I just snapped that day and I just like told him like we talked for like 30 minutes. It was just me crying for 30 minutes, just telling him everything. It was just.
But you feel better after, right?
Oh yeah, like our bond has been, it's been growing like slowly, but it's more like he's making progress.
Takes that uncomfortable stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it, but once you do it, it's kind of like, damn, now I can do this going forward. You know what I mean? Once you take that extra step, now you live a healthier life, like within yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was so opposed to therapy because in my household, it was like, oh, what happens in this house stays in this house. So if you ever tell the business, you know what I mean? If I ever go to another adult to tell them like what's happening in my home, you're letting the outsiders know what's happening inside. That was taught in my house. So I felt so scared, like, oh, I can't tell the business. Like nobody could know about nothing going on in my house. Nobody could come over because then you start knowing about what's happening at home. And if you tell, my mom's gonna be so mad at me, and I can't get therapy because I'm supposed to be strong. Like, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. My mom's strong, so I'm strong. You know what I mean? But then when I really did therapy, I promoted to everybody, like, that's the best decision I ever made in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thankful, but that's what's just being taught in homes, like, in our homes.
Exactly. It's like it's a big thing where it's like, in like you saying that, like that built up emotion, like I could definitely like understand that, like feeling like that you can't go outside because like you said, it's now everybody knows and nobody can know certain things. Nobody, it's like wrong to open up, but it's like, it's crazy that we have to get to that breaking point to finally feel like, okay, now like I have to let it all out. Now I feel like a mess and all these things. Whereas if we were to just live in a culture where certain things were okay to do, like even having this conversation, like just talking about certain things were okay, then we all wouldn't feel so,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like all over the place. But
exactly.
And it's into like you saying like, I wish that like that it was normalized for us, and then you bringing up the fact that like not having these conversations, not feeling like it's okay to open up, that's just the culture that you have lived in. And like even living in homes of like color in general, where it's like it's not normalized to bring things up, you literally have to hold everything in. And it's like I think that that's very real, the fact that like that being a very true example of, I have so much built up and now I'm letting it out on everybody, and it's affecting my relationships with everyone and myself. And yeah, like I feel like that's just a very like important thing that needs to be said. And so,
and like, you guys are not the only one that's going through this. I bet there's another Black man that is going through this already. And hi, Andrew. Huh? Yeah, but it's okay. It'll be edited. It is. So follow us on Instagram.
in our tone, follow.
In our tone.
I'm pointing at you.
Oh, I thought like those.
No.
What's this for?
You'll be on it. Just follow because you're gonna be next.
It's a podcast.
But that's literally so important. A lot of other Black men, Hispanic men, they're going through mental health, but in their homes, you can't speak up about it, so they feel trapped. You know how many minorities, especially men, die for suicide? Those rates are way higher than women and Caucasian.
Yeah.
And that's because of what's taught at home. Mm-hmm. It's sad and it's very unfortunate. And I'm just happy that we have these two vulnerable people that are letting us know this is what it is. You know what I mean? It's okay to go through what you go through, but there's also ways that we can fix it. Do not run from it.
Facts.
Don't run from it.
Facts.
This is gonna make me sick.
No, me too.
But this is so important. See, you guys really set the bar so high. I think you guys need to get on. I think you guys need a mic. I think you guys need the mic.
I already ordered like 2 mics.
No, but I'm serious though, because you guys will set the tone for other men to, like, you know what I mean?
To open up, because it's like, it is so frowned upon.
Considered a girly or feminine. guys, when guys like get vulnerable, it's scary, and I think their masculinity, they feel like targeted now. You know what I mean? It's like now you know something about me that's like you could use it against me. And a man, to be a man, they think that they have to be perfect, strong. You know what I mean? But it's not.
It's not all of it. That's not the biggest characteristics.
Well, on those lines, like I think I know we're in 2025, and I feel like we've been talking about this for like the past few years, but like I think that the numbers don't change, and it's like I know that there's so many guys and there's so many like there's so many men that are going through so much, and they have their own like mental battles and like whatever it is. Like I know that we're all so afraid to like open up about it, because I know like being best friends with him and like just it's so hard to open up to people. Like it's like you feel so vulnerable and you feel so weak, and like that's something that I've struggled with. Is I feel weak when I open up, because it's like I open this door and letting you walk in, and it's like you're learning all these things about me, and it's like I, in a way, I guess like this comes back to like again like not having like I have that kind of trust issue that I can't trust someone that's gonna stay, and like it's so hard for me to open up, but like I really like, and I feel like I've been like this since like I was little. Like I don't know why. Like I don't know why, but like with conversations like this, like I always will be the first one to jump and say like, you matter, your mental health matters, what you've been through in your past with your family and what your family's been through, like it isn't your fault. And like at the end of the day, like you gotta trust the fact that the people around you and the people that you chose to circle yourself around are the people that are gonna take care of you, and you gotta trust in them. Because at the end of the day, like holding things in and just waiting for them to explode, like that's not good. That's not good at all, like at all. And like, I mean, this is like, I guess opening up too, but I had a moment with him over the summer where it was like that, we just got done, we were drinking, we just got done drinking. And sorry,
Why
I'm sorry.
You make that face? Why you
listen, no, real talk. We got done drinking, and I feel like me and him, we like in a way, we just stop laughing. Like I'm being serious. I'm trying to get to something deep about this. Ready? It was a summer night, and we just got done drinking. We're just having like whatever, and it's like me and him, we went through a situation around the same exact time. And it's like he was in Florida, I was in Mass, and like we couldn't have that like brother to brother be able to be there for each other the way anyone would want their best friends to be there for them. And it was hard. And it's like there's this night in the summer where, all those emotions showed. Like I kid you not, like I'll admit to this, like I cried to him for a while. I bawled my eyes out, and he's here that he can like verify that. And like he held, like I bawled my eyes out to him because I was so in my head and I was holding all these emotions about how I felt about this certain situation, how it was hurting me and affecting me, and the guilt that came with it and all that. Like it just all came out. And like I think, that was one of like the first like serious times where like something like that happens to me. And like I went through that like growing up in high school, like just holding things in, and the same reason why I never got help and I was never able to go to therapy was because of my family and how my mom was. And it's like I never like in a way really truly learned a way to cope with that. So my mental and my like body is just so used to doing that. Like it's already a natural like instinct. When something goes wrong or something goes bad or someone hurts me or something happens, like my instinct is just to like put it aside and just not care about it. But it's like doing that, like you can't do that for so long. You can only do that for such a short period of time. And that's why he's my brother. This guy's my brother right here. And I felt comfortable to have that moment. I mean, he did the exact same thing too, and then like You know, that's what it's all about. So for all those guys out there, like, it doesn't matter if like you're the biggest or you're the most known or you're not the most known or anything like that. None of that matters. Your popularity, the way people see you. Okay. Okay, ready? Your popularity or what people see, like that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fact that people see you as strong, the people
say it louder.
The fact that people are like, what, it doesn't matter. If you're going through stuff and you know that you're not okay, like speak up on it.
Yeah.
Make an impact. Because if you have that kind of attention on you, then you should use that and like make an impact and get yourself help. Like, don't be afraid to get help out there, guys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're such a jacked, swole man or if you're the skinniest dude in the room. Like, your feelings matter. What you go through matters. Your opinion matters, and it should be accentuated. You matter, period.
Yes. I have two things to say to that. One, I think that like how you brought up like your guys' relationship, I think that's so beautiful. The fact that like, and something that we need to stress, like having those people that you can go to. Like we literally stayed up until 4 a.m. last night. And we like I've never done that with anybody before, but just having those friendships, one, I think is so important. Having people in your corner that you can go to and talk to about so many things. And also I want to say, like, I think you bringing up the fact that you like to like just to bring up like the cycles that are constantly being like what's the word, like repeated yeah in like our cultures. I feel like you bringing up the fact that like your father wasn't there, I feel like that can be an example of a man avoiding his feelings, a man who probably grew up the same way, not feeling like he could open up about his, you know, feelings and the things that he was going through, and now he's avoiding certain things. Maybe, and like I know in my life, and I can only speak for myself, but like for me, I have a hard time accepting love because like with my own mom, I didn't have that. So I have a hard time accepting that because she didn't know how to cope with her own emotions and understand herself and like open up about her, you know, her feelings. And I feel like that's a repeated cycle that could happen. And the fact that you're saying here, it's important that I need to open up, because you saying, oh, I tend to avoid things, but you sitting here opening up and recognizing that, like, that's a beautiful thing, because that's the first step to breaking a cycle. Yeah. And now, like, if you continue to show up for yourself and say, like, I'm not going to avoid these emotions, like, now you'll be able to show love and, you know, not avoid it. Yeah. And show up in spaces where maybe the people that were before you didn't, because they didn't open up, they didn't know how, so they avoided everything. And when love came to them, they didn't know how to accept it. And so yeah, I think like you just bringing that up, like, yeah, it's very important.
It's also like, have you ever heard of the saying, you have to run towards your problems? A lot of people run away from them. You gotta run to that.
You gotta go like head first.
You gotta run to that thing, find that thing, and like kill it. You know what I mean? You gotta address it. You have to go strong and really go all in and then kill it. And then that's the breaking of generational cycles. You know what I mean? You already addressing that this is A, the problem. This is B, what I can do to do better. But this is C, this is what I lack. I'm not doing 100% that I can, but I can do better. That's already making it better for you. You know what I mean? But you just gotta keep it up. You know what I mean? But it's very good that you see the problem and you know where it's coming from. That's the first step. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Do you want to add something?
Nah, I dead forgot. I ain't gonna lie.
About the masculinity thing?
Masculinity, bro. Preach it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got to get you a friend that's going to be there for you, like, no matter what. Because
at all times.
Like, you may not have a parent or that one person, like, as a family member, but if you have that one friend, like, that one best friend you can go to about anything, like, that's really, like, your backbone. Because with problems like that, really, like, if you have a friend or a small group of friends that you can talk to about anything, y'all's relationship is like gonna be one of none, because the amount of things that y'all gonna go through together, but then see the success and then look back at it and say like, yo, damn, remember when we were this and that? but like, and you'd be like, oh yo, damn, like, remember when this happened and we didn't think we were gonna get through it, but like,
we got through it because God did it. We got through it.
Like, I really like think about it all the time because it's like me. I want to be so successful in life. Like, I want to build a foundation so stable for my incoming family in the future that like they won't have to worry about nothing. And you will. Like, I speak it. I like, you know, I speak into existence every day where I have like so much things like planned for me. You know, like back home, so much things planned. It's just like building a steady foundation for your family right now and for your family in the future is like that's what I stress about. Like, that's the only thing that can stress me out, not being able to do what I want to do, but I know I'm gonna do it because like I got no other choice. I got no plan B. Like, I gotta do it, you know. Exactly. So.
And every cycle will be broken on every man of color. Like, I don't care. They are not what society thinks they are. They're not lazy. They're not abusive. They're not thugs. They're not criminals. They're not uneducated. They are not any of those. And they will define who they are on their own terms. You know what I mean? Believe in yourself. We are not what the white supremacy think we are. Right. And we just have to come together and really analyze all the issues and come together, because sometimes the hate comes within our own. Yeah. And it's like we don't even notice it for real. Like, little stuff that you do think is like, wow, that's what white supremacy think, but I don't know it. I think it's normal. You know what I mean? But it's that little stuff where it's like not going to therapy. It's literally a whole like story about like slavery too. Like, they're scared to address that. Like, a lot of Black people are scared to go to the doctors because they're scared something's gonna happen to them. Black women are more like likely to die while giving birth. All of this stuff has to do with a lot of things that play a big role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like that is a good segue into our next kind of conversation, which is like, and we talk about this all the time, but like building that breaking that like building the bridge, like bridging the gap between Black men and Black women, because I think a lot of the time, you know, Black men have been emasculated in a lot of ways and have to feel like they have to, and men of color, have to show up and like really like prove their masculinity. But you know, and Black women have always had to be that like strong, you know, they can't be as nurturing, and a lot of men do look at them as and
masculine. I always get told that I have a strong demeanor.
Yes.
Like, guys are intimidated by me, but not in a way that it's like I'm mean, but in a way that I'm strong. You know what I mean? Like, I do a lot of things. I have a lot of side quests. Like, I do a lot of things where people are like, they're like, I don't want to address that girl. She's too much. You know what I mean? I feel like she's a type, like, she knows all the answers to this and that. If I do something wrong, she's going to get me in trouble. But it's like, it's not that I'm intimidating in that way, but it's also like, damn, I'm just me. You know what I mean? I'm just a Black woman, and I'm not masculine though. You know what I mean? I'm still feminine. I get stuff done, so I'm considered. But then also what society thinks of Black women, what we see on TV, the movies, the Black woman, what she's always loud. She don't go to school. She beats everybody up. She proves herself too much, or she never has a man. She cannot keep a man. She has a bunch of kids and no dad. And it just like, that's what people automatically assume of me without knowing that of me. Like, she's ghetto, she's ratchet, and she'll fight you. Like, that's not, how do you even come up with that stuff? But it's all about like, you know what I mean? What we see and what comes within. Well.
And I feel like, ask like, you know, all these stereotypes and all these things that we're like bringing up right now, like, do you feel like in a way like these ideas of what a Black woman is, or how not even just Black woman, but a woman of color, and how a man should be, do you think that that also affects the way that you go about dating? Like, are you do you feel like,
do you avoid dating women of color because of your past trauma? Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be in a relationship with maybe a Hispanic woman because you've seen how it was with your mom and your dad, so you just want no parts of it. You'd rather go where it's easier. For me, for my example, I went with the white guy because I thought it was easier. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have to deal with none of the extra stuff. And I just didn't want to face it. You know what I mean? Like, that just played a role, like how I seen that in my household made me not want to approach any black man. You know what I mean? And that's true. Like, even though it's kind of like uncomfortable to say, like, and I hate that I have to say it, and it's low-key embarrassed because I'm a black woman myself, and I'm a black woman with pride. I have black brothers, and I don't want them to grow up thinking the same way about what they see at home. Like, I won't date a black girl because my mom, or I don't have my dad around, so I'd rather go. I know being with a white woman would be easier because she's probably going to be more quieter. My mom is masculine because my mom raised boys. Exactly. A woman can't raise a man. It's true. Like, what your dad can do, your mom can't do. You know what I mean? You cannot teach a man masculinity as a woman because a woman's not a man. You know what I mean? A boy
100%.
would know from his father how to treat a lady. Yes. We can't teach that. My mom's not teaching them that. Right. So they have whatever it is in home. They believe that's what it is. And I know some of them do think, or they won't date a black girl because of what they see at home. Right. But that's a problem within itself.
Right. So do you guys feel like, do you agree? Or?
Like, what's your standpoint?
Yeah.
You go first.
So the question was, do I think that